Hello all and welcome to a new edition of Exploring Operating Systems. I am Ricky and we are here today with a little known operating system called Windows 11. Yes, everyone, welcome to a new, potentially multi-part edition of Exploring Operating Systems. We're going to be taking a look today at a new edition or a new version of Windows. No, this is not one of those daft Linux imitations of Windows that are just faking it, like Windows 12 and all that kind of stuff. No, it's not that kind of rubbish. And no, it is not a hack of Windows 10 made to look like something else. No, ladies and gentlemen, this is a genuine, at least as far as I'm concerned, genuine article. This is Microsoft bringing up a new version of Windows after Windows 10. Now, I've got a lot of opinions on this, but we're going to be taking a look, first of all, at the setup process for this. Now, in the intro, you might have noticed that the Windows logo, especially in the setup right here, the Windows logo is looking a little bit different. It's looking a little bit flat. It's not got the horizontal look as it had in Windows 10. Something interesting about that. Alrighty, I am going to start off in the setup process by... Oh, hello. First off, first things first, let's take a look at the setup process and we take a look at the scroll bars. It looks very... I'm not too sure how to think about this. It's kind of Windows XP-esque, which, if it reminds me of an older version of Windows that is not a Linux, it's not a Mac OS or Android feature, it's more Windows-like, I'm down with that. Although you've got this kind of very weird scroll bar going on, which I'm not too much of a fan of. It's kind of Chrome OS to me. Yeah. It will do. But yeah, for the most part, the setup window is mostly the same. It's just a purple background with the Windows logo, and it's just a setup. It's basically just like an out-of-box experience, a kind of like setup wizard I've seen in previous versions of Windows. It's not too different. This setup process was first seen back in Windows 8, and the design principle was kind of around since at least Windows Vista /7. I'm not too sure. Anywho, we're going to continue on. Oh, and the logo has switched back to the classic one. Nice. I do find it interesting that Microsoft has now decided that it's going to change the Windows logo just a little bit and make it look more flat. And already it's asking me for a port key, so I will be back in just a second while I put one in for my current computer. Alright, we are back, and there we go. And there is something interesting going on with the window right here. Now, this has kind of got a kind of foreboding effect. Now, if you look at the window, it does kind of have the Windows 7 look to it. It's a little bit rounded. Now, I'm pretty sure that's basically what the Windows looked at Windows 7, of course. But the checkbox is what makes it interesting to me, because it's also rounded. That was not rounded in the setup for Windows 8 and 10. So that is an interesting fact already, and it's still got, of course, the Windows 7 design principle going on. But that's fine. As I say, it's got the Windows 7 style bar at the bottom telling you the progress of the setup, which is also in Windows 8 and 10. Anyways, let's continue on. Custom install. I'll go for this. Now, Seb is now copying the files. Alright, and I will say though, I do apologise for the sound in the background. I have a fan on. It is the middle of summer. It is quite warm. So I do apologise for the audio and this effect. I will be back when setup has finished. Just to show you what the startup screen looks like, and this is basically the out-of-box experience, or how in Windows 98, for instance, it would say Windows is getting Seb is getting Windows ready to run for the first time, kind of thing. This is kind of it, and you can kind of see that the logo on the boot screen is different. It looks more just a blue version of the Microsoft logo than the classic Windows 8 and Windows 10 boxy Windows logo. Which I do kind of partly feel as I'm going to miss that, but it's an interesting little change. I just wish they would just change the main Microsoft logo itself, because yeah, I do think the four colours is a little bit stale, if I'm being quite honest with you. Oh, we're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. And it's a black screen, interestingly enough. Whoa. Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but there was just an audible little sound effect that just happened. So I'm going to enable sound. Oh my god, this is different. Oh my god, this is awesome. And for those who didn't just hear it, I have just enabled sound so you can hear it, but there was a 3-tone jingle that just happened. Dum dum dum. Wow, that's different. And I do love this as well. I do actually love this design. I watched some people who also installed this and showcased how it looks. I watched Windows on Windows, shout out to you guy, and Muta Heart from Some Ordinary Gamers also showcased this. And they both said the same thing. The setup, compared to the Windows 10 setup, this is better. It's beautiful, it's pretty. And one thing I liked about the Windows 8 setup was during the out-of-box process, there will be a screen that pops up when your login information is starting up, and it would have this like background saying, you know, Windows is getting ready, please sit back and relax, do not turn off the computer kind of thing, and the screen would change colour from red to blue to yellow to green. In Windows 10 it was made a little bit more boring and just faded from a dark blue to a light blue, which, as I say, I found kind of boring. This is so much better, and it's a nice little design as well. It's very, well, I will say it's kind of Linux-ish, or a little bit kind of Chrome OS-ish. But as I say, it's it's leaps ahead of the Windows 10 setup process. Cause as I say, I think the Windows 10 setup process is dull, and it's not visually aiding to look at when you're waiting for the computer to start up. But that being said, as I set to the United Kingdom, I am going to continue. Oh, nice keyboards, nice. And nice animations as well. Hey, Scottish Gaelic. I am Scottish, but I don't speak Gaelic. Want to add a second layer? Nah, I don't want to, thank you. Checking for updates. I don't think this is plugged in, the VM is plugged into internet. And just for principle's sake, I will just turn off my router. Come on. How would you like to set up this device? Set up for personal use? Indeed. As I say, I do love the icons in Windows 10. They're not so basic and black, well, flat kind of thing. When the whole flat design is coming out and people are just making flat, boring logos, Microsoft is trying to bring back a little bit of 3D design kind of scope, and I like it. I'm not going to lie. So I'm just going to put Ricky as my login. An online account. Get lost. Please don't ask for... Really? Dog. This field is required. What's the name of your first pet? City where you're first born? City. This is one thing I really hate about this. What was your childhood nickname? That's one thing I really hate about this. When it comes to logging in information, you have to put in security code kind of thing. It's just like, why bother if I'm going to be using what is classed in Windows as a local account, or basically an account that doesn't require me to use my email information. Why do I need to bother with security information? I'm using this at home. It's a home computer. I'm not going to take it out with me anywhere. anywhere. What's the point? And no, don't track me with that. I'm just going to set this all to disabled, required only. No, thank you. No, thank you. It's a little bit. I do like the design of this setup. It's very basic. It's interesting visually to look at. It's not too boring. It's simple. You know, that's something good. And the font is changed as well. I've just noticed that the font has changed. A black screen. Oh wow! This is Windows 7, like. Oh my god! Oh my god! That is actually leaps ahead of Windows 10. I like the Windows 8 version, as I say, when it changes colour. It's kind of like fibre optic in its way. I've got like a fibre optic tree that changes colour kind of thing. This reminds me of those kind of changing colour kind of things going on. This is interesting. This is literally Windows 7 in 2020. Oh my god, I love that. It's like a screensaver. Now, some people will be looking at this and going, why am I getting all fanatical about this? This is leaps ahead of the Windows 10 setup process, and I love it. As I say, I do kind of notice that the setup process has changed a little bit, which is interesting. But I really love this. Almost there. Oh. Here there might be new sound effects. Alrighty. So we are at the Windows 11 desktop. Wow. Wow. Alright guys, I'll be right back in just a second. I am going to update the resolution of this machine. Alright folks, we are here at the Windows 11 desktop. And wow. Wow. I don't know what to say about this. Now, one thing I will say is I do not like how the taskbar is in the centre. One thing I will say about this is if I wanted this like this, I would choose a Linux distro or I would get Mac OS. But the first thing that pops out to you when you first boot into the system is the start menu, which has changed. And of course I've seen this before. This is basically just adapted from the now cancelled Windows 10X system, which was I think was meant to be on I think Windows 10X was meant to be some kind of tablet slash Chrome OS kind of thing. It kind of had its thing similar to Windows 10S, but you had Windows 10X as well, which had this kind of design scheme going on. I will say though, when this becomes the official design principle behind Windows 10, I will probably miss the Windows 10 start menu, because I do love the live tiles. But this is just as good. This reminds me of a program I once explored on this series called Poke Start Screen, or Poke Start Menu, which had this kind of design principle going. It had full-blown icons and all that kind of stuff going on. You've got the all apps thing, of course. I'm pretty sure it's still in development, so there's a lot of things to look around and eye upon. But guys, I'm going to give this a thorough explore in part 2, so please stay tuned for that. Until next time, I hope you have a very awesome rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Take care, bye bye.